Prince's last Diddy recording played in trial.
It happened in the first week, but it felt like the grand finale. Inside that federal courtroom, surrounded by elite attorneys, flashing cameras, and stunned celebrities, Sean Diddy Combs broke down completely. And the reason? A voice out from the dead. Prince. Yes, the Prince. In a bombshell move nobody saw coming, the prosecution pressed play on a secret recording from the legendary artist, recovered from his private vault just weeks before his death. And as Prince's voice echoed, through the room, Diddy's mask cracked for the first time. Gone was the calm, confident mogul. In his place, a man unraveling, visibly shaking, muttering under his breath, and eventually erupting in a full-blown courtroom outburst. "That's a lie," Diddy screamed, stunning the jury and forcing the judge to call for order. But what exactly did Prince say? Why did Diddy panic now after days of testimony? And more importantly, what else could be hiding in Prince's vault? Because if this was only the beginning, the rest of the trial might be even darker than anyone imagined. Before Prince's voice echoed through that courtroom, before Diddy's carefully built image shattered in front of the world, there was tension, years of it. Because this wasn't just a case about power, parties, and dark secrets. This was a story decades in the making, between two of the most iconic figures in music. Diddy, the empire builder Sean Combs, wasn't just a rapper, he was a mogul, an empire unto himself. From founding Bad Boy Records to launching fashion lines, spirits, and media companies, Diddy defined influence. But that influence always came with whispers. Whispers about what really happened at his infamous private parties. About freak-offs, NDAs, security bans, and secret rooms. Over the years, more than a dozen anonymous sources have hinted at manipulation, exploitation, and threats, but nothing stuck until now. 'Cause now, there's evidence, and not just from witnesses, from a legend. Prince, the watchful witness. Prince Rogers Nelson was the opposite of Diddy in many ways. Private, spiritual, reclusive, but don't let the mystique fool you. Prince was also obsessively cautious. Known for recording everything and trusting no one, he was notorious for installing cameras in every property he owned. While the world saw purple lights and guitars, Prince was quietly watching the industry from the inside and taking notes. What fans never knew is that he was watching Diddy, and what he saw was enough to terrify even him. Cassie and the Collapse. The spark for this trial came from Cassie Ventura, a former singer, model, and longtime partner of Diddy. When she finally spoke out, she detailed years of alleged abuse, freak-off culture, emotional blackmail, and celebrity coercion. Her testimony rocked the industry. Photos, texts, payments, leaks. But the defense was confident. She's bitter, they implied. She wanted fame. She consented. For 2 days, Diddy sat stone-faced while witness, after witness gave their accounts. He didn't flinch until day 3. A vault no one expected Prince's estate has always been shrouded in secrecy. Dozens of unreleased tracks, footage, and files were locked in his legendary Paisley Park vault. What the public didn't know is that Prince also recorded voice memos. Private, paranoid, but chillingly clear. And just before his death, he made one final recording. In it, he spoke of industry predators, manipulated artists, and things he saw firsthand. He named names, he named dates, and at the center of it all was Diddy. The trial begins. Day 1 of the trial was electric. Journalists filled the gallery, celebrities slipped into side doors, security was tight. The defense projected confidence, painting Diddy as the victim of a vengeful ex. The prosecution played it cool, too cool. They introduced testimony, walked through basic evidence, and set the foundation. "Why aren't they going harder?" one court reporter whispered. "Feels too quiet." But the truth? They were waiting. Day 3. The setup when day 3 began, subtle changes raised eyebrows. 4 extra security guards, 2 tech specialists at the prosecution's table, a black device quietly tested behind the scenes, and a warning from the judge. Regardless of what's presented today, I expect complete composure in my courtroom. Everyone knew something was coming. What they didn't know was that Prince was about to speak from the dead, and Diddy was about to completely lose control. The next morning, the courtroom was a different place. After Diddy's explosive outburst, the press doubled, security tripled, and speculation reached a boiling point. Every reporter, every juror, every eye in that room was focused on one thing: what was on the rest of the tape. Prince's recording resumes. With a single nod from the judge, the prosecutor pressed play. Prince's voice came back, calm but now tighter, as if something had deeply disturbed him. I told him this has to stop. I said, Diddy, someone's going to get hurt, or worse. And he said, stay in your lane, Prince, or lose everything. The courtroom was silent. Diddy sat hunched, head low, his lawyers whispering frantically around him. I'm not saying this lightly, Prince continued. I've seen him take girls' phones, make them sign things they didn't read. I've seen artists disappear. And I've seen money move, millions silently, to people who were screaming yesterday and silent today. Names, dates, and wire transfers. The bombshells didn't stop there. Prince mentioned a series of payouts, specific amounts and recipients. He detailed wire transfers, naming banks, initials, and amounts that exactly matched what prosecutors showed on-screen moments later. The courtroom wasn't just listening, they were connecting dots in real time. I've seen the receipts. Prince said. I kept copies. I gave one to my lawyer. I kept another in my studio. As those words echoed out, the prosecutor calmly lifted a sealed folder from her briefcase. Inside? Scanned copies of financial records from Prince's home studio vault, authenticated by 3 separate experts. The vault revelation, there's more. Just as jaws started to settle, the prosecutor made a quiet announcement. Your Honor, we have received a second file, separate from the initial tape. It was recovered from Prince's vault under a separate drive, labeled Insurance Sean. The judge raised an eyebrow. The gallery leaned in. Diddy visibly flinched. The court. Clark carried over a flash drive and inserted it into the evidence screen. We request permission to preview excerpts of this secondary recording. It includes visual content synced with Prince's original voiceover. The judge hesitated, then said firmly, proceed. The video starts. And it's devastating. What played next shocked even the most jaded courtroom observers. Footage from inside a private party, time-stamped December 2015, the same one Prince had described earlier. There was no audio at first, just ambient room noise, but what the court saw was unmistakable. Blacked out windows, unconscious guests on plush couches, a private room where someone who resembled Diddy was seen handing off a phone to a shirtless man. Then came Prince's narration. This was the night I told him I wouldn't stay silent. He laughed, said nobody would believe me, but the cameras don't lie. Diddy's face says everything. As the footage played, 3 jurors turned to watch Diddy directly. His face had lost all composure. He rubbed his temples. He clenched. At a table. At one point, he whispered something to his lawyer, who quickly motioned for water. The man looked haunted, one courtroom artist said, like he was seeing ghosts in real time. A reporter in the second row described it best. Yesterday was explosive. Today was radioactive. The internet goes. Nuclear's word of the second tape his social media, hashtags exploded, Prince, new vault, evidence, Shui, a Diddy unmasked. Hey, Ghost Witness Twitter threads detailed every frame of the new footage. YouTube channels went live mid-hearing. TikToks. Analyzing Diddy's micro reactions racked up 2 million views in under an hour. Even celebrities began weighing in. Questlove: I always said Prince was 10 steps ahead. Kerry Washington: this is heartbreakingly brave. Made a true speak. Louder than power. Alicia Keys: his voice from the grave is louder than ever. Cameron and 50 Cent throw jabs as expected. Hip-hop legends couldn't stay quiet. Cent posted a meme of Prince in sunglasses, captioned, "Not even death could stop him from testifying." Cameron posted a throwback photo with Prince saying, "He told me back then, I just ain't believe it." Jury's body language shifts. Observers in the room noted a dramatic shift in the jury's demeanor. They weren't just watching evidence, a legal analyst explained. They were watching Diddy's reaction to it, and it wasn't good. One juror was seen furiously scribbling notes throughout the video. Another had their arms crossed tightly, face locked on Diddy with clear skepticism. "The damage is done," a court reporter whispered. "They can't unsee this, they can't unhear Prince's voice." And just before the break, one final line. The prosecution paused the tape just before the midday recess. But not before Prince said this: "If I'm gone, this will speak for me. And if you're hearing this, that means I was right to be afraid." The judge called for a recess, and Diddy, he didn't move. He just sat there, frozen, as if the words had pierced through every layer of armor he had left. It took exactly 7 minutes after the court recessed for the internet to explode. And this time, it wasn't just blogs and stan accounts. This was global. From TMZ to the New York Times, from Complex to BBC World News, everyone was running the same headline: Prince exposes Diddy from the grave. Second recording devastates defense. Social media meltdown Twitter, now X, was in full-blown riot mode. This is the first time in legal history that a ghost has destroyed a billionaire living court. A trial sniper. Prince said, "If I die, here's the nuke." He dropped it, and it hit. Industry eyes, the hashtag Courtroom Prince testifies, hit #1 trending worldwide within 26 minutes. TikTokers were already recreating courtroom moments with dramatic reenactments. Clips of Prince's voice synced with courtroom sketches racked up 12 million views before sunset. Celebs began to choose. Suddenly, the silence in Hollywood broke. Some stayed quiet. Others couldn't hold back. Lauryn Hill posted, "Prince warned us about the system. He tried. They didn't listen. Now the world hears him loud and clear." Meek Mill wrote, "This bigger than Diddy." Prince wasn't lying. They all know what time it is now. Even KK Palmer posted a cryptic tweet. When legends document the truth, it's because they know they won't be believed until they're all gone. Then came the bombshell quote from Tyrese, who once performed at one of Diddy's infamous mansion parties. "I remember Prince leaving early that night. He didn't look right, said, 'Y'all gonna regret this.' I thought he meant the food." Industry pressure builds behind the scenes. Insiders say 2 major label execs resigned quietly the same day the second tape aired. One was allegedly named in the unplayed portion of Prince's audio log. Another stepped away from the our board of a music tech company tied to Diddy's previous ventures. One legal analyst summed it up: "This trial isn't just taking down a mogul, it's pulling back the curtain on an industry that protected him for decades." Celebs scrub photos, deny parties. By mid-afternoon, fans noticed something strange. A growing list of celebrities was scrubbing photos from Diddy's parties off their Instagram feeds. Gone were the white party montages, the New Year's Eve, rooftop shots, the blurry freak-off selfies. One stan account tracked 42 posts deleted in under 3 hours, including from Naomi Campbell, Justin Bieber, Kevin Hart, Cassie's former label mate Alicia Keys. When asked by a reporter, replied, "I was never upstairs. I wasn't even in that room. Please don't link me." Public divides, debates ignite. The public wasn't just watching. They were debating. Team believe Prince. He had no reason to lie. He was dying. He wanted the truth out. This is heroic. Team skeptic. Why wait this long? Why now? How do we know it's not edited? Neutral but shook. All I know is Diddy ain't looking like the victim anymore. Reddit threads broke down the video frame by frame. YouTube legal experts went live discussing if Prince's posthumous testimony could become standard in celebrity cases. Fan protest erupts. Outside the courthouse that evening, over 300 people gathered outside the LA courthouse, holding signs that read, "Prince spoke. Listen, the vault is just beginning. Protect the next generation of artists," one protester shouted into. A bullhorn. He tried to protect us while he was alive. He protected us even more in death. Videos of the crowd chanting, "No more silence," flooded social media. The jury knows the world is watching. While jurors were instructed to avoid media coverage, it's impossible to ignore the outside. Pressure now boiling. A court sketch artist reported seeing two jurors exchange glances during the video playback. The energy shifted, she said. They were staring at Diddy the way you look at someone after hearing something you can't unhear. And remember, jurors are human. They feel the weight, the magnitude. And now they're being asked to separate evidence from emotion while sitting across from a man who just melted down in public. One last leak. Hits before sunset, as the courtroom day ended, a new document leak surfaced online, allegedly from a former assistant of Prince. It teased a third vault file titled "Hollywood Blackmail, Names Only." Fans and reporters immediately began speculating. Is there a list? Are there more tapes? Did Prince record everyone? By the time court resumed the next morning, everything had changed. The public was in an uproar. Media vans lined the courthouse steps, and did he look like a man walking into a storm he couldn't control? Gone was the flash. Gone was the confidence. He wore a basic black suit, no jewelry, no nods to the gallery, not even a glance at the cameras. His legal team flanked him like human shields, whispering with the urgency of men trying to stop a train wreck already in motion. The judge issues a chilling statement. Before the jury entered, the judge made an unexpected announcement. This courtroom has become a lightning rod for national attention. I've just been informed that additional materials, allegedly from the late Mr. Nelson, are now circulating online. If any party attempts to introduce unauthorized recordings, they will be held in contempt. Everyone in the room froze, even the prosecution looked caught off guard. But then the lead prosecutor stood up. "Your Honor, in light of recent leaks, we request a closed-door evidentiary review. We believe the new material may contain direct references to sealed names in this case." The courtroom exploded in whispers. The Hollywood blackmail file, though unconfirmed at the time, insiders close to Prince's estate had verified. One chilling detail: there was in fact a third file, labeled "Hollywood Blackmail, Names Only." According to anonymous sources, the document allegedly contains a handwritten list, dates alleged groomed witnesses, and cryptic references to unreleased footage. The timing of the leak was no coincidence. Courtroom analysts speculated it was a strategic move, either by someone within Prince's inner circle or someone who wanted to ensure the truth didn't die with the case. Diddy's legal team begins to fracture. As court went into closed session, reporters spotted an unusual moment. Two of Diddy's attorneys arguing in whispers. One gestured toward the judge, the other shook his head, mouthing the words, "It's too late." That moment alone sent shockwaves through the media gallery. "If your lawyers are crumbling in front of you," one analyst said, "you're not fighting a case anymore. You're fighting survival." A final redacted clip, is teased before the judge recessed for the afternoon. The prosecution made one final statement. "Tomorrow we will introduce the final portion of the Prince recording, redacted for public viewing but authenticated and relevant to multiple parties named in sealed court documents." Immediately, cameras cut outside the building. Reporters went live. Hashtags began trending again. Final tape swore Prince Street. The list is real. The buzz deafening, because this time Diddy might not be the only one named. Cliffhanger, who else is on the list? As the court adjourned, the prosecution's last words echoed louder than any recording. This final segment will place the industry under scrutiny and may introduce new potential witnesses. That's when gas swept the back of the courtroom. New witnesses? Who? How deep does this go? And while Diddy was escorted out under heavy security, avoiding cameras and questions, the headlines had already written themselves. Diddy's trial explodes. Final Prince recording may expose more than just him. A billionaire just broke down in court. A music legend spoke from beyond the grave. And the world is asking, who's next? What you've just heard isn't fiction. It's not rumor. It's the most explosive trial Hollywood has ever witnessed. And we're just in week 1. Prince's voice exposed secrets no one else dared speak. Diddy's meltdown proved something was hiding beneath that polished surface all along. But now, the game just changed. Because if there's a third recording, if there's a list, if more names start falling, then this isn't just Diddy's reckoning, it's an industry purge. So here's what we want to know. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Prince had more names ready to expose? Should the final tape be released publicly? And who do you think is on that list? Smash that like button if you think Diddy's reaction proved the truth. Type "Pow Prince spoke" in the comments if you believe his voice is still protecting people. And don't forget to subscribe with notifications on, because tomorrow's episode might finally answer the question the world's been asking. What else is in Prince's vault? You do not want to miss what's coming next. Because one thing is clear, the trial isn't over. It's only just begun.